I want to talk about the difference on what kind of services you can offer on Fiverr, right? And especially for social media marketing, because as you can see, there are different types of services on the marketplace. People doing different things. They're doing growth services, they're doing running ads as well, they're creating content, posting content, they are doing sort of strategy gigs where they're providing some sort of a strategy as well. So there are a lot of things to do, right? And first of all, you have to understand when you're launching your gigs or when you're thinking to do different gigs, you have to categorize them in different categories, right? The first types of gigs, which I usually call them, is like let's say strategy building, right? Hashtag research, it could be influencer research, anything that relates to like researching, giving the strategy, giving the guides, right? And this category also applies like let's say consulting. You can do consulting gigs, but honestly, I'm not a huge fan of consulting because what you're doing is that you're spending a lot of your own time, right? Imagine you have 5 calls per day. You're gonna be exhausted every single day, right? But when you have a strategy where people asking you for like, hey, can you create a strategy for my account? Can you help me with that? Can you help me with the hashtags? Then it's different because you can really build a good system for that, right? Because of course you have to understand that those kind of gigs, the only way that you can get clients is by ranking high in the search, right? So you have to be ranked high because that's how you drive traffic. Your delivery time is going to be probably a couple of days, maybe 3 days, maybe two, 3 days, right? But you're going to be having more new customers. So you have to be ranked pretty much very high, right? The same with consultings, the same with the hashtag research. And you can see, for example, here, I want to give you an example of the person who is doing something similar, which is related to TikTok. Doesn't matter if it's Instagram, TikTok, LinkedIn, Pinterest, Twitter, it could be different platforms, right? But as you can see, he's doing clearly the strategy, right? He's giving you the algorithm breakdown, he's giving you tips how to grow more, but he's not really managing the account. He doesn't take that responsibility. So the other types of category of accounts, the category where you manage them, right? You have the control. The control means you can have growth services where you build the organic following, you're engaging with other people, so you're basically building their exposure of the account. And another sort of subcategory is the content, right? So you're creating content, you're managing content, you're posting content. So this kind of gigs involves more responsibility because you're gonna have the login password, you're gonna have all the sensitive information, right, about the client. You are some sort of responsible as well for the account, so you have to understand that, okay, you have the account now, you're basically in control of it, so you have to obviously be very careful with that. We have to be very careful with the data as well. But what it allows you is you to sell a recurring service, right? Because with the first one, the strategy, it's not really recurring, it's always a new customers. With the second category, where it's content and organic growth, paid ads as well, it's in the same basket, but those kind of services are recurring. So that means you can have, let's say, 100 clients and you can just kind of like maintain them for several months, right? So that's why there is obviously more stability, consistency in those kind of services. But again, it's more responsibility. So you have to be responsible for those accounts, for the work you do, for everything, right? And obviously the time period is longer. So it's not 2-3 days, it's going to be 30 days and more, right? Could be 2 weeks as well, like a 2 weeks trial. So guys, when you're thinking about those kind of services, I'll definitely be careful. I'll definitely maybe start with the first, like a hashtag research, giving some tips, building the strategy, maybe even consulting, so you can really understand the market and the need as well for those businesses. And then you can jump into those services where you manage the account, you're providing content, you're creating content, you're running the growth services as well. So, but this is a great way to understand better what kind of services out there and eventually plan your Fiverr career more successfully. Thank you so much again for watching this video. Feel free to check out in the description about the course I have. It's on Udemy. It's really about in-depth how you can become a top digital marketer. There's a lot of things I'm talking about. I'm constantly updating pretty much 3 weeks. You have new lectures are there. So feel free to check it out. And thank you so much again for your support and see you in the next video.